Great, I think we have a forum. Let's get started. Hi, everybody. My name is Elaine Chang. I'm the Director for Market Development and Customer Success here at TerraWorks. So, as you've now heard, TerraWorks 4.9 is now available, and we're really excited about the new features in it. So we designed this release to provide even more flexibility for both TerraWorks admins and mobile users to track their offline activities. So today, Roger Gachui, who's our TerraWorks consultant, will be showcasing how you can use all of these features. And he'll do that in just a moment. Just a note before we get started that we take your feedback into account for these feature releases. So thank you so much to those clients who have raised these issues. And we hope that these new functions will be able to help everybody. On that same note, please keep the feedback coming in. So do reach out to your customer success manager to share any ideas you have, or log on to our Power of Us community to post an idea. So before I hand things over to Roger, let me go over some housekeeping rules. First, this session is being recorded, and we'll be making the recording available on our blog afterwards, and we'll be emailing it out just in case your colleagues aren't able to make it. Two, everybody is on mute by default. So if you have a question, please go ahead and ask it into the questions section of the webinar screen, or you can raise your hand and I will unmute you so you can introduce yourself and ask your question. And the way we'll run questions is that Roger will be pausing at the end of each function. So definitely get those questions in while he's explaining it, or we can wait till the end as well. So I think that's it for me. Roger, let me turn it over to you.
Great, thanks Elaine. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today as we showcase the features from our latest release, TerraWorks 4.9. My name is Roger and I'm on the TerraWorks Customer Support and Professional Services team based in Nairobi. Today we're going to walk through the new features, talk about the upgrade, and leave plenty of time at the end for Q&A. Should you have questions as we walk through, feel free to type them into the chat, as Elaine mentioned, and Erin, our Director of Product, and I will make sure to get your questions answered. Here are the major feature updates in 4.9. 1. Offline job integration, a feature we're really excited about. This will give the ability to create and reference records offline without syncing in between. 2. Custom mobile record assignment. 3. Mapping to record types and phone numbers directly. And 4. Tabular format pagination. To illustrate this in action, we look at how our fictional organization, Aquacomb, could use each of them. For context, Aquacomb builds wells, sells water filters, and monitors the health progress of the community members who are using the well. Let's dive in. Prior to TerraWorks 4.9, records that you created in one TerraWorks job wouldn't be available to another TerraWorks job without syncing. Now, with offline jobs integration, you can share updates between jobs without connectivity. For example, you can register a client in one job and use that record in a subsequent job to record a sale or a check-in with that client. I'm going to demonstrate this. So I'll go to TerraWorks and go to Jobs. Here we have two jobs, register client and log a sale. We'll first register a client. We'll name our client Roman Empire. Who's a she, and we'll input her phone number. Click Next. For this record to be available in subsequent jobs, we need to mark it as complete. Okay, assuming we're offline, so we're going to sync later. Then I'll go back to jobs and go to the second job, which is log a sale, and see if we can find the record that we just created, Roman Empire, so as we can complete a sale. So here, as you can see, Roman Empire, the record that we just created in the previous job, is now available without syncing. When we click Roman Empire, you can see the details that we just inputted is visible here. So next, we can go finish up the details of the sale, which is the date of the sale today, the item, and the quantity. Then click Next, mark as complete, and set it to sync later. This wasn't possible in prior versions before 4.9 without syncing. Some things to keep in mind when using this feature are, 1, to create a local record, meaning a record created in TerraWorks that is not in Salesforce, you must mark the task created in that record complete. This is what will allow that record to be available in the next job. Secondly, once a local record has been referenced by another job, the saved job that created the record cannot be deleted or edited. To delete or edit the original record, you'd first have to delete the referring jobs. This is because jobs are synced into the order they were marked complete. Thirdly, for the local record, any field that will be populated by Salesforce, say formula fields, roll-up summaries, auto numbers, will not be available offline. Validate that your jobs drill-down hierarchy filters have the desired behavior for your process. A formula field are in use. In case you have this, you can write to us and we can explore possible workarounds together. Step-by-step instructions on how to implement offline job integration in your org are available in our support site. Before going to the next major feature release, I'll take a pause and see, are there any questions regarding this feature?
I see one question come in from Jesse. Does it have to be in another job, or can you have the data created in one form used in another without the same job?
Good question, Jesse. Yes, for now, it has to be in separate jobs.
Okay, Roger, another question from Malik from Give Directly. Are there any cross-object limitations?
Sorry, what do you mean by cross-object limitations?
Let's see. So he says, was all functionality. Malik, let me unmute you, and then I think that might be clearer. I'm just coming to your. Hey, Malik.
Hey, can you hear me?
There you are. Yes.
Sorry.
Can you just introduce yourself quickly and then ask your question?
Yeah, of course. I'm a technology manager for a nonprofit called Give Directly. Roger, this is a really cool feature. I guess my question was, if in one job you have one layout in terms of drill down hierarchy, so one set of objects, and in a different job you have a different drill down hierarchy and maybe even a different mapping of what fields you're updating, are there any limitations as far as this offline record capability goes, or is all of the usual features that I'm used to available, and I should just think of it as the same functionality that I'd always had if an object had synced to Salesforce is now just available to me in offline mode? Does that make sense? Are there any gotchas here?
Yes, that makes sense. And to answer your question, no. So it doesn't matter the drill down for the second job or the third job. The only gotchas are these ones that I just shared on the screen. If any of those records, let's say in a drill down hierarchy filtered, are determined by a Salesforce formula or something that Salesforce had to do, then that record will not be, the job won't work as it's supposed to be because everything is being done on the TerraWorks side. But if that is sorted, then it basically we are creating a record offline and you're able to access it just the way you could have done it on Salesforce. Does that answer your question?
Yep, that's great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Malik. Another question is coming in from Tutu from Tugende. Are there any special configurations to be done when creating jobs for these for this offline sync or offline jobs integration?
Yeah, great question, Tutu. Yes, they are, and we do have these instructions right now on our support side on Zendesk. Basically setting the offline ID, and we have details step by step to enable you to do it correctly. So do have a look at that. And in case of any challenges or questions, you can always write to us at support@terraworks.org.
Great. And then one more question from David at Sistema Bio is, can this be within the same job? So different forms within the same job. If you have several tasks layered in, can they reference previous tasks?
Yeah, great job, David. So at the moment with this release, this is being done at the job level. However, in subsequent releases, we aim to improve this feature and bring it down to the task level. However, at the moment, it's at the job level.
Great. I think those are the feature-specific questions. I'll save some other ones till the end. So if that's it, I think we can keep going, Roger.
Awesome. Great questions. Keep them coming. Another win in TerraWorks 4.9 is the ability to map directly to phone numbers and record types. Previously, you could achieve this via workaround, but now with 4.9, you can map directly, just like how you map the other supported fields. I believe this will remove a lot of headache from you guys. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to go to contact. So contact here, I have two record types, parent and student. In my form, I have two questions. One for contact type, is it a parent or is it a student? Here, question 3. And then I have a question for phone number. So previously, if you had gone to field mapping, you couldn't find these fields in the drill down hierarchy, in the field mapping. However, now for contact type, we can map directly to the record type ID. And for phone number, we can map directly to the Salesforce phone number fields. So this is a contact object, and we do have the home phone, mobile phone, and other phone. In our case, we're going to select mobile phone and save. Record types can be mapped to text or single select questions. And phone numbers can be mapped to text or whole number. If you're going to use whole number in the form, whole number has a limit of 9 digits. However, you can use text, and with dynamic ops, you can limit the values being inputted to numbers only. So if you had used the workaround before, like workflow, you can now disable them and map these fields directly. Are there any questions regarding mapping phone numbers and record types?
Doesn't seem like it. Oh, here we go. Great. We have a question from Jesse. Are there limitations in terms of record type visibility settings?
So when it comes to visibility, so long as the TerraWorks partner user profile, which is a profile that we use for mobile devices, or if you have your own profile that you're using for mobile users, excuse me, if it's visible to them, then it's going to be visible and it should work fine. Does that answer your question?
He says yes.
Awesome.
Okay, I think we can move on.
Great. So another improvement we made in this release is that you can search for mobile records to assign using any field that you choose. Previously, the user was forced to use the name field. When the name field is an auto number, it could be challenging to determine which records you want to assign. You can also now assign records for any standard objects starting in TerraWorks 4.9. Examples of objects you can assign are case, task, event, among others. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to go to our mobile user tab where we assign mobile record assignment. I'm going to select a user. Then I'll go ahead and click assign records. So for example, let's say we want to assign cases to our mobile users. So I'll go select the case object. And now in 4.9, we have this extra section where you select the field. So you can select any field in that object. In our case, we'll select case number and assign records. So when I click here, display records, we can see the case number of the cases available in that object. So previously, this was by default the name field. However, there are some objects that do not have name fields. But now with this additional functionality, you're able to assign any standard objects. Are there any questions regarding this new improvement to mobile record assignment?
Roger, we have a question from Emma from Varkey Foundation. Does this mean that you must assign mobile record users all fields in each of the objects they're assigned?
Sorry, do you mind repeating that again?
Sure. Does this mean that you must assign mobile record users all fields in each of the objects that they're assigned to?
No, this field it's just for display purposes. Whatever record you assign to them, they'll be able to access the fields that you display to them in the drill down hierarchy, in the job drill down hierarchy. So this is to help you determine which records to display in mobile record assignment, but doesn't restrict the fields available to the mobile user. Does that answer your question, Emma?
She says yes.
Awesome.
Okay, I think we can move on.
Great. So last but not least, an improvement we've made in one of our most popular features, which is tabular format, is introducing pagination. This allows pages to load faster and gives a better user experience to the mobile user. To demonstrate this, I'm going to go to mobile device and to a job that takes client meeting attendance. So I'll start the job, click new job, go to attendance. So here we have 60 clients. I'm going to select all of them before I take attendance and select next. So above here, it tells you 60 clients have been selected. It asks us for our meeting name. This is going to be 4.9 webinar. And I click next. So as you can see, 60 clients have been loaded. However, now every page, only 50 chunks of records will be done at a time. So in this first page, only 50 clients were loaded. And then in the next page, we have the remaining 10. This provides a more manageable view of records and improves the speed at which the table is loaded. Are there any questions regarding to pagination in tabular format?
Doesn't seem like it. Oh, here we go. Okay, question from Malik. In this case, what's the right workflow if you want to do multiple rounds of noting attendance? So let's say someone shows up late and you want to note that they arrived late.
Sorry, I do not understand the question. Mark, do you mind expanding a bit on it?
Malik, I wonder if that's like a separate question that you ask in the form. So like you can go back into that table, but then maybe it's a separate checkbox to indicate that they arrived late. So I think the question is, Roger, can you go back into the table? Like, let's say you do one round of the table, and you can you come back to the same table and update maybe a status field from absent to present or late?
Ah, okay. I do understand. Erin, do you wanna hop onto this question?
Erin, are you there?
Sorry, I think I was on mute. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so in 4.9, the pagination of tabular format is really just a usability change. There's no functional change to the way the tables work. So previously you could enter like present or absent or late and save the job. You could also come back later and then change that value. So that would work the same way if that's the question. Malk, it says it might be hard to explain quickly over typing and seeing that comment too. So also if you want to connect right after the webinar, we can chat about your scenario too, if I'm not answering the question. Okay. So you said this is good. I think you answered.
Great, thanks.
Perfect. Any other questions in regard to tabular format pagination?
Nope, I think we can move on.
Great. So those are the major feature releases in 4.9. As always, as TerraWorks, we try to do 3 to 4 releases each year. And you can look at our product roadmap available on our support in Zendesk to see upcoming features. A quick reminder on our upgrade process. TerraWorks 4.9 upgrade instructions are now available on the support site. If you're in earlier versions, you need to upgrade to the next one first before to 4.9. So for example, if you're in 4.7, you have to upgrade to 4.8 before upgrading to 4.9. That's really important. Do not forget to map profile permissions before clicking install, and be sure to notify mobile users in advance of the upgrade, as they'll be prompted to upgrade to the version of TerraWorks in Salesforce as they sync. If it's your first time upgrading TerraWorks, please reach out to support, and we're happy to work with you during your first upgrade. Finally, if you've done mobile record assignment outside the TerraWorks mobile user tab, kindly reach out to us for assistance with the upgrade. If you're a new customer and would like to try out these features, please reach out to hello@terraworks.org, and our team will be there to help. Before we wrap up, are there any final questions?
Yes, David from Sustainable Bio is asking whether there'll be a manual for the mapping for the upgrade.
Yes, so we do have all step-by-step instructions for 4.9 currently live on our support site. If there's anything that you need clarifications or help with, please feel free to reach out to us, and our support team can hop onto a call with you and guide you. But right now, all documentations are there for all these features.
Great. Another question came in, Roger, from Teresa from World Bicycle Relief.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain how assigning, excuse me. Sorry. Can you explain how assigning record type mapping to standard objects, can you explain that feature a little bit more? Is it also applicable to custom objects? Like, can you assign to different record types for custom objects?
Yeah, great question. So when I come back to Salesforce here, the feature to assign to record types to standard objects also applies to custom objects. The same way we we assign this contact record type in this field mapping for the contact object is the same way we're going to assign for custom object. There's no difference whatsoever. Something to note is the record type ID. This is the label in the record type and not the record type name, which is the API name. So for example, if you had a record type called parent or guardian, so that is going to be the value that you put in your question, as opposed to if it was the API name, you cannot have spaces. It will have been parent underscore or underscore guardian. So when you're doing record types, just name them the way they are named in Salesforce as a label, not the record type name. I hope that makes sense. And if you have questions specific to your case, feel free to write to us. Happy to look into it before you do the upgrade. Does that answer your question?
She says yes, thanks.
Awesome.
Great. Final call for questions. I think we're getting to the end. So yeah, if you have a question later on, feel free to type them in or submit a support ticket or reach out to your customer success manager, and we'll be happy to help you get these implemented. Great. I think that's it then. So let's wrap up early. Thanks all for joining. We'll be sending this recording around so that you can reference it later on and kind of circulate it. And yeah, let's keep the conversation going in the Power of Us community or with your customer success manager. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Roger.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.